Tension. I've been talking about it a lot in recent months, and it can come from a lot of sources: player interaction, opportunity costs, theme, and suspense, which that last one is exactly what Junk Drawer has in spades. But before I go any further, I should point out that this is the sophomore release by Winsmith Games, 50% of which is game designer David Smith, my buddy, my pal, my regular convention roomie. And while I'd have no problem saying his game is as terrible as his taste in Smash Bros. Characters, you should probably keep that in mind. The game, as you might have sussed from the title, is a spatial arrangement puzzler themed with the ever-infurious Junk Drawer that we can all relate to. Each round, 4 cards will flip up one at a time, and players will assign their corresponding copy of each charmingly mundane item onto their grid to maximize score on an array of scoring parameters chosen randomly or to match particular challenge levels or thematic schemes at the beginning of the game. And if this sounds bland, well, it did for me too, until the critical moment that both made the theme and the game click instantly. Your grid has 4 quadrants, and when assigning each of the 4 items throughout a round, it can only be assigned to one of the quadrants you have yet to use, and each of the game's 4 scoring conditions corresponds to 1 quadrant each. And it's brilliant. Every card flip is not only filled with the joy of sticking that can opener exactly where you wanted it to maximize scoring potential, but it also carries the terror of realizing that whatever remaining items have yet to be flipped, they will be forced into your remaining sections, which completely and very intuitively adds suspense, followed either by hilarious confirmation or blessed relief, which is only compounded by the fact that when a player cannot place an item in one of their untapped zones, they are out of the game, done, ready to count up points and see how they did, which in the other brilliant twist of the game might not be such a bad thing. Junk Drawer's scoring parameters really blew me away. I'm so trained by spatial arrangement games to maximize efficiency and cram as much as I can in each nook and cranny that it kind of blew my mind that almost as many scoring cards are about maximizing empty space as they are about cramming things in, and juggling the competing needs of the objective with the risk of pieces yet to come adds this great layer of easy to comprehend but deviously clever trickiness that few games this light employ. And it is light, with only 21 pieces, simultaneous play, and limited space in each zone. Games fly by in about 15 to 20 minutes, and in my experience, players are then eager to play more. But it isn't without faults. For what tension the game magnificently capitalizes on in suspense, there is 0 player interaction. None, nada, zilch. You could sit down to play by yourself or with 3 friends and have the exact same experience aside from gloating rights and the joy of shared apprehension, which admittedly is pretty great. But it still feels like there should be something to cause interaction, or at the very least divergence from one another. For some people, player interaction, be it human or simulated, is the difference between a puzzle and a game. Also, while the game is incredibly easy to teach, there is a sort of thematic incongruity that comes from the objectives that prioritize empty space. What makes the game so intrinsic is that we all got junk drawers, but in life we rarely put effort into organizing them poorly. And for the particularly meticulous organizers out there, wasted space and trying not to fit everything in can be an affront to all they stand for. So make sure they get that this is just pretend. Ultimately, Junk Drawer is the perfect low-stakes, casual environment game strengthened by the incredibly relatable theme and the charming specificity in the vibrant illustrations. I mean, everyone has this dumb flash drive from 2006, and the bite marks on the pencils? Perfection. It's not a game I see taking up a main course at a game night, but because of the great tension and quick turnaround, it's one destined for just about any situation you can cram it in. At a family barbecue, break it out and rotate rounds with Pop, your Uncle Zeno, and Denise from next door. Office lunch break, squeeze in a couple games in 30 minutes easy. Waiting on players to show up at game night or looking to close out with something less intense, Junk Drawer will be there, and it's one I look forward to playing again and again.